The tires where you got to be smooth and take care of them, he's going to be the guy you better watch.
Yeah, they've run a little bit over 50 laps since that first competition caution. Mason Mingus into the outside wall.
Around he goes, and damage to the left side of that truck, and then behind him Clay Greenfield and the 07 of Ray Black Jr. get together.
I think that was in the aftermath. I would say Clay saw it, got on the brakes, and Ray Black Jr. did not. See, Mason Mingus gets to the inside of the 77, Herman Quiroga, not quite able to get there. Herman came down the racetrack. He got loose getting in the corner.
Here's Jeff Burton's view.
Whoa, that was really late to make that dive bomb in there, Phil. And Herman Quiroga's lucky he didn't take him with him.
Wow.
Hornaday's your race leader, and that was a close call.
Yeah, I don't think the 07 of Ray Black didn't know that the caution flag was out, or that Mason Mingus was sitting there against the outside wall.
Caution has come out once again. A lot of damage to the 23 of Spencer Gallagher. That's Brian Silas. He's walking back to the infield care center.
Caleb Holman was involved in that as well, Rick, and that's some heavy damage to those trucks. That truck of Gallagher's is bent in half.
Yeah, this is Brian Silas's truck. He was actually on fire after he made contact with Spencer Gallagher.
Yes, right in the door there. The contact has already been made between the 75 and watch Brian Silas. Bam!
Right into the right side of the 23. Fire will then start underneath that 99 after this accident here.
That's insult to injury there. You're already in the inside wall and get hit again. And watch this 99 truck.
Burst into flames here underneath. So Brian Silas then brings that 99 to a stop on the backstretch and had a little problem climbing out of that truck.
Yeah, when something's on fire, you
try to get out of there as quick as you can.
Your first concern is just getting away from it. You don't know if it might continue or could get worse, and so he was just trying to get out.
Yeah, fortunately the fire extinguished itself, but as you mentioned, Brian had a little bit of trouble getting out of that truck.
And stepped into that throw. Didn't appreciate the way he was being raced by Caleb Holman.
Well, Phil started hitting me in the arm about 5 seconds before the wreck ever happened, because he said Phil knew it was coming. He saw those guys arguing over space, and that's what the result was.
Not a lot of. Welcome back under caution for the 5th time today. The 17 of Timothy Peters, your race leader, and he is on pit road. Bob Dilder.
It will be 4 tires with no adjustments for Timothy Peters. He told his crew chief Marcus Richmond, "I'd hate to mess with it. This truck is so good." A simple pit stop for Timothy Peters, right?
Right rear tire was killed on Ryan Blaney's truck. He's going to come in here. They're going to put 4 on it. Chad, his crew chief, said we want to pack it full of fuel, and they've got to keep in mind the 13 is right in.
On this one for 19 to go. Back into the gas. Matt Crafton on the inside. Darrell Wallace Jr. looked to the inside. Timothy Peters on the outside.
Boy, Crafton drove it hard. Look at Timothy Peters, gets a little bit sideways.
Way up the racetrack with Cole Custer as well. Now it's a battle for second. Darrell Wallace Jr. on the inside. Timothy Peters on the outside. Out in front of the field.
Oh, we got a spinner. Hornaday into the outside wall.
Hard into the outside wall, and a lot of smoke around that 30 as he was spinning the tires trying to keep it going. He was running in the 4th spot when this happened. Herman Quiroga coming in there, got into that curb.
Armand was committed, and he tried to go up on the curb to give Ron a little extra space, and Ron was committed to closing the door. I think get down to 20 to go, Phil, you're going to start to see more and more aggression, and that just looked like Armand looking to get into a hole that wasn't really there.
You're going to try to take a little more space than you would have maybe 100 laps ago. There's another view of it.
You can see it's a late dive. You know, you hate to just say that's just racing, but here at Martinsville with 20 to go, people are going to start taking more than they give, and he took more than was there, I think.
7th caution of the day. Around goes the 30. Not as much contact as what it looked as though.
Yeah,
that happened. All the smoke around him.
That splitter's tough, Rick. So it's if he don't come to pit road and get it bent up, I think he's going to have problems. Giving Bubba the advantage. I wonder if Bubba got loose or something, trying to chase down Matt Crafton, because he had some space on the trucks behind him. Next thing you know, he's sideways.
And that truck looks. Oh, Gray Gaulding gets turned around.
Gaulding goes around into the inside wall, and it brings out the caution.
That's a huge break for Bubba Wallace. He got that 3rd spot away from from John West Townley. That means he's going to be on the inside. Timothy Peters stuck on the outside again.
In the 13th spot. And Cole Custer in front of him. Two 16-year-olds fighting for position.
Well, the fight escalated too, Rick.
Golding once again into the back of that 00, and then he got caught up from behind by the 33 of Ben Rhodes, or excuse me, of Brandon Jones.
Guys, remember the West race at Phoenix last November. Cole Custer led 49 3/4 laps. Had a little bit of contact from the back with that 20 of Gray Galding into Cole Custer. Gray won that West race.
You could see Custer was purposely trying to hold Galding down after Galding ran into the back of him, and it just nothing Brandon Jones could do. Those guys were having a fight among themselves, and other guys got involved in it. But those young cats seem like maybe there's a rivalry starting here. You talked about Phoenix. We see it again today.
To the green-white checker. Green flag back in the air. A great restart for the 17 of Timothy Peters.
Crafton drives it hard down in the corner. He'll use up Timothy if he needs to.
Crafton out in front as they go down the backstretch. Timothy Peters running the 17, and around goes the 51. He had help. Up the racetrack goes the field, and the caution's going to come out before they get the white. We'll try it again. Take another look.
Oh, they just got together.
They got together, and he was sideways. Johnny figured he'd just go ahead and move him on out of the way.
Johnny's had an aggressive race today, running into every truck he's caught, basically.
Got into the back of the 51 and didn't let off the gas.
Watch this truck. Bam!
Jumps off the ground. Boy, great job by Eric not letting that truck go back out in traffic.
This was coming off turn number 2.
Johnny had a nose to the inside.
Right along with the 98. This is actually from on top of the truck.
Still out there. Still out there. Easy. Easy.
Kind of tell from the sound there a little bit.
And Ashley's no. 2 by 2 coming out of turn number 4 into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air.
Better start for Peters. He's alongside Crafton.
Got a good angle down in the corner.
Door to door coming out onto the backstretch. Crafton with the advantage. Timothy Peters tucks in behind as they go into turn number 3. Bubba Wallace moves to 17 out of the way. He takes second. Timothy Peters tries to keep it straight. More contact. White flag in the air. One more time for Matt Crafton. Two by two as they continue through 1 and 2. Out in front of the field. The 88 of Matt Crafton. The late charge by the 54 of Darrell Wallace Jr. But it's the 88. Matt Crafton wins in Martinsville. A champion a year ago, and now gets his 4th career win, and it comes at Martinsville. Take a look at this. 1777. That was after the checkered flag had come out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that 77
It'll
also
continue.
Pushed.
And yep.
Bam.
A lot of work to do now at the shop.
Obviously, both those trucks coming out of the same stable.
Watch Kroger. Looks like Townley gets sideways, and Kroger just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it turns John West around. I knew there was contact. I didn't know what started. It looked like just got loose off the corner. Maybe did Townley, and then
Timothy was bouncing off the wall right in front of John West.
And the reason why Timothy was mad at Kroger is because when they got to turn 3 on the last lap, he just ran him right up the track and out of the way.